a few things that you'll need are a tumbled stone of your choice. Make sure that it's non-toxic. So if you have a crystal that's nice and smooth, rose quartz, amethyst, clear quartz, these would all be so beautiful to use. Or you can work with a fancy gua sha tool or a face roller if you have one of those. So those are some things that you might want to have available. If you're lucky enough to have a fresh flower or a dried flower or even a picture of a flower, that would be excellent, but you don't have to have that. You can just work with the ones that we'll have right here together. And then you'll also need either, and it's just one of these things, a little pouch, a little bottle or jar, or a box. And you only need one of these. Any one of those things will be fine. And then a little piece of paper and a pen, totally up to you. And then if you have your favorite face oil or face mist, those would be excellent to have on hand as well. So I see there are lots of you here. If you don't know me, my name is Ashley Levy of At Love and Light School. I am an internationally acclaimed and award-winning crystal healing instructor, as well as a best-selling crystal author. So I am so passionate about teaching people how to work with crystals and crystal energy, and I find this a great addition to really any spiritual practice, any wellness practice, and it's something that I'm really excited about. So I am going to welcome you into our sacred space tonight with moon dust on my face and joy in my heart, and thank you so much for coming and being here to participate in this ritual. And we are celebrating, tonight is the night of the full flower moon. So what the heck does that really mean? You might have heard about all these terms, and what does that really mean? I personally celebrate all the ebbs and flows of the lunar phases and cycles, but the full moon is an especially potent and powerful time because it connects us with our intuition, with our ability to manifest, with our sense of personal power, achievement, and completion. So we're going to be really tapping into and harnessing this powerful energy of the full moon in our ritual tonight. It's also the flower moon though, and so each month the full moon has a different name. This month we celebrate the flower moon because the flowers are in abundance right now. They're blooming, growing, everything is reawakening, at least here in the northern hemisphere. And this is also called the corn planting moon, the growing moon. It's a time where things are awakening and emerging, and it's really a time of joyous celebration. The cycles of winter are kind of coming to an end, and we're opening up to this new time of self-expression and expansion and joy. And it was even said in some myths and legends that at the time of the flower moon, the full moon in May, that the flowers would come alive and dance in the moonlight at night. And I just think this is such a beautiful kind of story and metaphor for the joy that we find in our own hearts during this time. So the full flower moon is all about finding your own inner bliss. It's about experiencing and presencing your own joy, and it's really about finding happiness in all aspects of your life, even when it feels a little bit challenging. So if you haven't been feeling like you're living in that place of joy and bliss and flow, I welcome you to discover that in yourself in our ritual tonight. I'm so glad that you're here and that you're joining us in sacred space for this ritual and ceremony that we're doing tonight. So for the first part of our ritual, I'm going to kind of start to hold space by lighting a candle. And so I'm going to light this candle with the intention that we come together heart to heart, even at a distance, that we are able to discover and tap into our own inner joy, our own inner bliss, our own feelings of acceptance, excitement, renewal, rebirth as we embody the energies of this full flower moon, which happens to be really close to Mother's Day weekend. And I just think that's so beautiful and perfect. So lighting this candle, holding the intention that we all call upon our own inner bliss and inner joy at this time of the full flower moon. And inviting you to take a breath with me and exhale, and just allowing yourself to get into your center, be comfy, and allow yourself to welcome in the energies of the full flower moon. So I'm going to place our candle here to hold this space for us as we go through our ritual and ceremony this evening. And I want you to, if you have a fresh flower, a dried flower, a picture of a flower, place that in front of you at this time. And if you don't, then you can just focus your gaze and attention on the beautiful flowers that I've brought here from my own garden this evening. And I want you to think about what these flowers represent at this time of the full flower moon, thinking about how they are emerging, they are blossoming, they are expressing their joy and their connection to the universe. They're finding their place in universal flow. And that is what I'm going to invite you to do with me right now. So we are going to gaze at these flowers. And again, if you have your own, work with your own. If you don't, please feel free to work with the energy of these beautiful fresh blossoms. And we're going to gaze at these flowers and take a moment to really take in their symbolism, their beauty, their expression of joy. And we're going to take a moment to kind of hold space for this energy in our bodies. You can feel this in your womb space, you can feel this in your heart space, you can feel this enter through your crown, your connection point with the divine, with universe. And take a few deep breaths in and out. You might even want to gently tap at your heart space to get yourself centered. And I want you to appreciate the beauty of these sacred blossoms at this time of the flower moon. And start to think about all of the things that you're grateful for in your life. All the things that bring you that feeling of peace and bliss and inner joy. The things that you're grateful for about yourself, your own gifts and talents and compassion and things that you share with the world. Things that you're grateful for in your relationships and connections with others, experiences and gifts that have been given to you and shared with you. And think of all that you have to be grateful for in your life. And as you gaze at these flowers, I want you to feel their energy, their warmth, their joyous energy kind of filling your heart with each breath. And feeling that heart space expand as you move into this place of gratitude. And allowing your heart space to be filled with all these things that you have to be thankful for and grateful for in your life. I want you to take a deep breath in and close your eyes and visualize one special flower blossom in your mind's eye. And I want you to see this flower blossom moving to your heart space, moving to your heart chakra, your heart center. And as you think of each of these things that you feel gratitude for in this moment, I want you to feel this blossom at your heart begin to expand and widen and open, so that it can be completely receptive to all the new energies that you'll be manifesting during this time of the full flower moon. Take another deep breath in and exhale. And hold space in a moment of gratitude for these sacred blossoms, for the medicine and lessons that they share with us, to hold gratitude in our heart space, to allow ourselves to open up, to blossom, to bloom, to expand. And if you have a flower near you, I'd like you to just set that aside for a moment. We're going to come back to it as we continue with our ritual. So for the next part of our ritual, after we've just shown so much gratitude and appreciation to the universe for all that we have to be grateful for in our lives, we're now going to turn inward and hold some gratitude and space for ourselves. And we're going to do this through the action of self-love. So if you have your tools with you, you can do this right along with me. If you don't, I welcome and invite you to come back to this live stream a little bit later on this evening. For this next part of our ritual, you'll need a container with some ice water, and my ice has already melted because it's so lovely and warm. And you'll need a nice smooth stone. So if you have something large and flat, that would work best. And again, making sure this is non-toxic, something like rose quartz, amethyst, clear quartz, citrine, smoky quartz, aventurine, jade. These would all be great crystals for this. If you don't have something large and smooth and flat, a regular tumbled stone will work just fine. So I have a rose quartz here and an amethyst. You can work with whatever you have on hand. And you're going to place this in your dish of ice water until your crystals are nice and cold to the touch. They should feel nice and cool. Now, alternatively, if you don't have one of these stones, but you have a jade roller or rose quartz roller, you can work with these as well. This will be beautiful. We're going to do a very brief self-love face massage. So I want you to grab your favorite facial oil. I have this one that has little gold flakes in it, and I also have this one which is pomegranate and rose, and I think I'd really like to use this one. Whatever face oil you usually use, or one that really speaks to the idea and vibration of self-love, will be perfect. And you're just going to put a few drops on your fingertips and rub your fingers together, and then just very gently pat this oil onto your face. While holding this intention to nourish yourself in body and mind and spirit, and welcoming in the fragrance of this oil, letting it move through your body energetically as well as physically. And then you can take your special stone or tool. If you have a roller, you can use your roller. If you have a tumbled stone or a nice flat palm stone, or even a gua sha facial massage tool, any of these will work beautifully for this. And starting at the top of your face and working down and out to the sides, you're just going to really gently massage your face with this beautiful, cool crystal, and allow yourself to really feel into this nourishment, this feeling of self-love that you're creating by taking a moment for some self-care, by taking a moment for inviting beauty and joy and bliss into your life, and working this tool down your face and down the sides of your neck, and just really allowing yourself to enjoy the texture, the touch, the temperature of this crystal as you work it down your face, and just allow your intuition to really guide this process. Remember that the full moon is the time when our intuition is heightened. So just listening to your intuition and listening to your body for what feels good. And massaging your face so gently down your neck, all the way down to your heart space. And while you do this, again, really holding that intention to embody the vibration of self-love, to feel this nourishment and care for yourself. And then if you have a nice facial mist that you would like to end this part of the ritual with, I have a few here. I have rose and I have rose geranium. I'm actually going to use both. I love the combination. So just give yourself a really light mist. And again, inhale this fragrance, feel this energy wash over your body. Treat this almost as if it really is deep ritual. This is something we often do for our own beauty and self-care, but we don't think of it as ritual and ceremony. And it really is. This is adding this vibration of love and self-care and nurturance, not only to your physical being, but to your energy body as well, to your aura. And just taking a moment to enjoy the fragrance, the feeling, and again, remembering that we're calling upon, especially if you have these in your sprays, the energy of these flowers and bringing that essence of the flowers and the flower moon into this ritual. And just feeling that sense of rejuvenation, that spirit of opening and awakening, just as we receive during this time of the flower moon. And if you'd like to just gently kind of pat your skin, and you can do this for however long it feels good. Just keep continuing with that process of giving yourself a beautiful kind of sensual massage with your crystal, with your roller tools, doing whatever feels good, and then ending with that face mist. And we're going to continue on with the next part of our ritual, where we're really going to hold space for our intentions and draw upon the manifesting energy of the full moon. So for this part of our ritual, you'll need one of these three things. You don't need all three, just one is fine. You'll need either a little pouch, or a jar or bottle, or a little box. Completely up to you which you prefer to use. But what we're going to do is fill this item, this vessel, this sacred container with our intentions for what we want to manifest in terms of our own bliss, joy, self-love, all these things that are related to the energies of the full flower moon. So I would like to invite you to gather up some of your favorite crystals that you feel embody these energies, things like maybe rose quartz, rhodonite, rhodochrosite, pink opal, cobaltoin calcite, citrine, pyrite, anything that sparks bliss and joy within you, that fills your heart with that feeling of inner joy and self-love. These are the things that you want to call upon to help you manifest more of this in your life. So I would like you to take your sacred objects. So I have my rough rose quartz here and a little amethyst crystal. And these I'm going to really hold in my hands, kind of hold and feel into their energy. And then I'm going to take a small piece of paper and a pen, and I'm working with these little lunar sticky notes here because they are so beautiful and they really, I feel, embody the energy and colors and excitement of this full flower moon. And I want you to write out an intention for yourself about your own inner joy and inner bliss. And this can be anything you want. And if you need some ideas, I've written one for myself, which I'd love to share with you. It says, I find bliss and happiness in my life whenever I choose. I consciously create moments of stillness to honor my inner joy. And so then you're going to take your container, whether it's your pouch or your little bottle or jar or your box. And remember, this is your sacred vessel. This is your sacred container for holding space and manifesting this energy that you want to create in your own life. So I'm going to work with my little pouch here. And as you place each special item into this pouch, you're going to say your affirmation either aloud or to yourself. And if you're working with some crystals and you want to bring in that energy of self-love that we've just held, you can even anoint your crystal with just a tiny bit of that oil that you just used for your beautiful self-love facial massage. So I'm going to take just a tiny drop of my oil, and I'm just going to rub this on the surface of my crystal, feeling that love that I feel in my heart right now, the state of bliss that I've created from going through this ritual. And after I've anointed my stone, I'm going to say my affirmation: I find bliss and happiness in my life whenever I choose. I consciously create moments of stillness to honor my inner joy. And I'm going to place that, goosebumps, in my little sacred container. And then I'm going to do the same, rubbing that remaining oil from my fingers, getting all of that goodness onto my crystals, and either silently or to yourself. I'm going to go silently this time, reading my affirmation, holding space for that in my heart. I'm going to place this into my sacred container. And then finally, if you did have some flowers, again, fresh flowers, dried flowers, pictures of a flower for the first part of our ritual where we were really focused on gratitude, I invite you to select one or even a few of these flowers or flower petals to include in your sacred vessel, your sacred container for manifesting this energy of inner bliss and joy and happiness and love that the full flower moon embodies. So I'm going to take one petal of this beautiful white tulip, white representing lightness and purity and bringing in these new beginnings. And I'm going to just gently kind of roll this up and place it into my sacred container. Now, if you have anything else that is sacred to you, a piece of jewelry, a small photo, a feather, a seashell, something that really connects you with that place of joy in your life, then I invite you to add that to your sacred container as well. And then finally, you're going to take your written affirmation and you're going to fold it up and gently place it into your container, either your pouch or your jar or your box. And then as you seal up that container, take just a moment to hold it over your heart space and feel into all that positivity that you've just created and put into this vessel of light, this creation, this container of manifestation on this very powerful evening of the full super flower moon. And just hold space for that gratitude, that self-love, that intention of manifestation coming together as we begin to close this ritual. Now, what I would recommend over the next 3 nights after you have created your sacred container is that you place this near your fresh flowers and you sit and make space under the light of the full moon energy for the next 3 nights, because even though the full moon is tonight, each moon phase lasts for about 3 days and 3 nights. So we have this opportunity to really embody and presence this lunar energy more than just on tonight. So I invite you to place this sacred container near your flowers, and each night for 3 nights, sit in meditation, hold this maybe over your heart space or just have it in front of you, and focus on those flowers and hold gratitude for all these things that you're manifesting in your life. Because when we hold gratitude in our hearts and we're thankful for the gifts that we already have and we already get to experience in our lives, we are able to call in even more bountiful self-love, pleasure, joy, sensuality into our lives, especially at this time of the full flower moon. So I want to thank you so much for participating in this ritual with me tonight. I'm so grateful for your presence here, for your contribution to our sacred space, and for being together in community as we welcome in the energy of this full flower moon. So we held gratitude for the beauty in our lives and the things that we're so thankful for. We took time to nourish our bodies, minds, and spirits with an act of self-love, and we're holding space for intention, positivity, and inner joy to manifest in our lives. And I want to thank you for being here and sharing this with me this evening. And until I see you again, I want to thank you so much for being here, for bringing your presence, your spirit, and your joy, your expression of joy to this full moon ritual tonight. So thank you so much. I wish you so many crystal blessings. Until I see you again, we will close our ritual together. One deep breath. Exhale. Wishing you so much beauty, sending you so much gratitude for being here with me tonight. And until I see you again, many, many blessings.